Hello, hello, hello. This is Ogas, CEO and founder of Savvy Monster Unites, Career Prosperity Catalyst. So I'm coming to you with a message. And, sometimes I'll be sitting down thinking about stuff, and I'm always like, how do I release my thoughts and have it be something that I feel like would be a topic that many women um, in their 40s might be thinking about. And that is the power truly of a made up, very convinced mind. I've had the luxury of being able to work in various environments, work with various types of people, um, network with amazing people. And in all my experiences, I feel like there's always been a purpose behind it. Like the reason I might have changed a job or gone into a different field, my purpose behind going back to school, getting my master's degree, my purpose behind moving to Georgia. Everything had a purpose, a time that it was supposed to be for, a focus. It was always leading to the next thing that I'm doing. And so as I sit here with you and I contemplate what is my next year going to look like, um, because 2020 has been quite the interesting year. I'm not going to, say anything crazy about it because it is what it is, right? We all know what's going on in 2020. It's been quite an interesting year. It's had its moments, right? But in the moments where I feel like things were just not going the way I expected, I have seen some really great glimpses of hope. And I've been blessed. I've been blessed to still be able to work and provide for my family. I still been able to stick around and hold on to my business. Um, I bought a home in 2020, like, during a pandemic where a lot of people didn't see that opportunity, but I was really blessed to have seen it. And so it makes me think about and reminds me of just because the year has been one that has been unexpected, there's so much that still can be done, right? And so making up your mind as to what's the next thing you want to do and how, as you get older, there's some clarity that comes with that. So I would say, yeah, in my early 20s, I struggled to find that clarity and go the way I wanted to go. I was always kind of wavering or going where people expected me to go, um, and just kind of go the path that was most expected and was well paved. And then as I got older, I started to see how taking risk actually would lead me to things that were more aligned with what I wanted. So the reason why what prompted this discussion, right? So I started reading so I work for a corporate company, a large corporate entity, and I work in HR. And my supervisor had asked us to read this book called Dark Horse, and I'll put the author in the description of the video because I'm drawing a blank on the author right now, so I'm not even going to pretend that I can remember. But it's called Dark Horse, and the book talks about a series of stories of people who took like really, you know, very unexpected paths to finding the career that they desire and love. And what I loved about the book was that it really does almost give you like insider view on the perspective of the individual as they were making decisions. One particular person in the book they talked about was this woman who was like, you know, she had a lot of stuff happen to her personally. Her mom passed away when she was young. It was her and I think two other siblings. The character's name was Susan. She she was, being raised by the dad. The dad wasn't really emotionally available. He became, almost abusive, and then he remarries, and the stepmom is not that great towards her. So, in her efforts to escape this home where she felt neglected, she goes and marries an older man because, in her mind, the path to escaping that situation and also getting a better life was to go towards an older man who could help lead her on the path to a different life. and then she ends up in an abusive relationship, and so she's trying to get out of that, and then finally she gets out of it and decides to go work. She wants to go. She's thinking, okay, engineering is gonna kind of get me to the place where I make good money, and I do well for myself, and then finds out, oh, that's not what she wants to do. So she is considering going into the music industry, and she's trying to find her path to the music industry. And what she, her thing was, I want to perform on the stage. I want to perform in front of this large audience. And finally, like in this really unconventional way, eventually gets to perform with Prince. Amazing. How did she get there from this situation where she was living in an abusive situation? She goes in. It's like, okay, I'm going to be a receptionist at a university, and listening to a conversation with a student and the professor, and them talking about what sound engineers do, and she's going into that path to try and figure out her way to the stage. And not all our paths are well paved. I can tell you my path was never well paved. It always came with twist and turn, because sometimes I just decided to take the unbeaten path to what I wanted, and I was okay with that if it meant I had to take a pay cut, because I wanted to get to a place where I wanted to be um, valued and celebrated and allowed to be creative. I decided to do that. When I moved out to Georgia, I took like a major pay cut. I was making half of what I was making back in Massachusetts. I was making it in Georgia, and was living on it, and was doing pretty well for myself. But I was doing it my way. I was trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? I know that for me, long term, being an employee is not something I want to do. I eventually want to take off and run a business entirely, and have it secure my lifestyle, but have other investments that help me to live. So I knew that working for someone long term wasn't my long term goal. But I've kind of been able to, maneuver myself through different places to kind of get a better sense of how I would do this if I would run my own business. Working in HR has given me incredible insight into the business world, and working for a large corporate entity, it's given me really great insight into what I would be thinking about when I am running things myself, and I'm have employees, and the expectations that I set forth, guidelines, policies, culture and culture fits. Why that's important. Sometimes I think companies are like, okay, if you do the job well, that's great. But sometimes there are people who do the job well, but they're not really a great culture fit. They don't help boost the culture. They don't help promote the culture that you're trying to promote in your company. And so I think about that. That's what I've kind of learned in my current role, is like looking for that culture fit, and how you can really help people build skills, even though they may not come in with all the skills, but really looking at a person like, okay, you may not have everything you need, but how can we grow you? How can we develop you to become what we need? And thinking about as a business owner, when I have employees, how that's my approach, is that, okay, you might not come with me with every skill set needed, but I know you have potential, and I know you're going to be a great fit for us, because the expectations we have of you culturally, the cultural expectations we have in the company, is that you really come with the desire to be of service and help single moms really take it to the next level in their career, in their finances, like really becoming investors. And why the people that I network with and partner with really have to come with that mindset first, is that we're here to be of service, but also to help make these single moms, help develop these single moms to be independent in the way they go about their lives. That when they see success, they can build upon that success. They're not very dependent on the company to survive. They can really do it on their own. They're resourceful enough. We provide the foundation, and they take off from there. Um, so that's really what I start to think about, is what's my next step. My next step is to really build a financial foundation that allows me to not worry. Like, that is it. It's simple. I don't want to have to worry about money. I don't want to have to worry about finances. I want that to be the least of my worries. What I want to do is just to to live in my creativity and live in my truth and live in my purpose. And that is to help single moms. That is my driving force. That is why I wake up and still record videos when I'm dead tired. And that's why I wake up and still come up with creative ideas for courses. And that's why I wake up and still do lives when I feel like a topic may speak to that single mom like me who was just waiting for someone to kind of pull something out of her. It is why I continue to do what I do. So I have no I have no desire other than to just live free, to get up and do whatever I want, to not have money be a factor or a barrier. And why that's important, we teach that for young women that we are raising too, so that they become financially independent, that they can do the things they want to do. So when they meet their partner, they're in a good place too, because whatever man you trying to date wants to meet a whole woman. And a whole woman needs to be happy and fulfilled. And if she's not personally fulfilled, what is she bringing to the table? Because she's expecting the person to bring that happiness? No. I think about a statement Jada Pinkett made, and I know some people might do a side eye for me quoting Jada, but hey, everybody got a message, and sometimes the messenger, you gotta go with the message and not always worry about the messenger. But just thinking about what she said when she said, you know, no one else is responsible for your happiness but you. Like, truly, no one else is responsible for your happiness but you. If you really think about that, then you seeking that in a job is wrong. You seeking that in a partner is wrong. You seeking that in family members is wrong. Like, you really are in charge of your own happiness. And why starting there first sometimes is the best place versus exploring it and trying to get it from someplace else. If you're trying to get it from another source, you're going to be sadly disappointed. And you're going to always be disappointed because no one's going to ever live up to the expectation that you have set for yourself. You're going to constantly be in a situation of distraught. You're going to be distraught. So definitely thinking about this more in this message, and how a made up mind really can drive you to doing the things, doing some amazing things, and taking those risks that are really important to your growth and your ability to do some amazing things in your life. And of course, I cannot leave out your relationship, your spiritual relationship with God. I believe God has been very, very active and prominent in my choices. When I've made bold choices, I've had extreme amount of faith that no matter what choice I made, I would be okay. Even if I had to go through a moment of challenge and struggle, God was there with me. Like, God was there. I never had to suffer for too long. I was really in a good place. And so I have to be grateful and always be grateful in those moments, even when things seem kind of grim. So I started off in the beginning where I was saying, like, yeah, 2020 has been an interesting year. And I try not to see it as gloom and dreary. Yes, I've lost family, friends, and things have been really crazy, but I've also seen many blessings, and I'm very conscious of that and very grateful for that. And I'm still here. I'm still here with, months left in the year. I'm still here, and I'm also very grateful for that. And God has still blessed me beyond belief. So if this message finds you well, hope you are able to see the beauty in making up your mind as to what you want to do. And definitely go check out that book, Dark Horse. I've enjoyed reading it now. I'm not finished, but I plan to finish it because I've gotten so interested in it. But definitely go for it, read it, and start looking at, what is going to motivate you? What are those micro motives that you need to get to the place where you want to be? Thanks again. Have a wonderful and blessed day.